Hey y'all, welcome back to the Purpose University podcast, your source of inspiration as you seek to create your best life and be your most authentic self. I am your host, Dr. Eve, and I am so glad that you have decided to join me at this time. If this is your first time tuning in, I want to say thank you for checking out the show, and I certainly hope you'll come back for more. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I am so thrilled. I am here today with the Dr. Dymphna Davis, straight out of Louisiana, baby. What's up, girl?
Yeah,
I had to put that on there. I lived in Hattiesburg, and I was down in Hattiesburg, Mississippi for about 4 years or so. And so I learned to love Louisiana. So it's so exciting that you're from there. How's the weather?
Right now it is very nice. It's spring in New Orleans. It's something to see. It's festival time here, so we have a lot going on.
Oh yeah, plenty of crawfish too, right?
Oh yes, I'm going to give me some today, matter of fact.
Look, I missed that. They used to have the crawfish broils when I was in school down there, and it happened, toward the end of the semester, and I was always looking forward to it. And now I'm like, can somebody find some crawfish? So yeah, I miss the South. So look, just thank you for coming onto the show. Let me start with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Oh gosh,
I really appreciate it.
Welcome. I definitely love that you are first generation college graduate and you are a PhD. Like, go
yes.
you. What I want to know, and I'm sure those who are listening want to know, like, tell us about yourself. Who are you? What's your story?
Well, as you said in the introduction, my name is Dymphna Davis. I am a first generation college graduate. I'm the daughter of Army veteran and a hardworking mama. I have 2 siblings. I have a sister and a brother. And I feel like my family, my environment, my city has prepared me and propelled me to become the person that I am today. I am a proud high school graduate of Edna Carr Magnet School in New Orleans. It has been featured in Beyonce's videos and has been everywhere. And that school in and of itself, I would say the education, that foundation that was set from there prepared me for college and prepared me on a track that it has helped me to become successful. I feel very supported and I love where I'm from.
I love that. Where'd you go to college? Where'd you end up for undergrad?
Okay, so for undergrad, I went to Northwestern State University in Natchitoches, Louisiana, go Demons. And then for graduate school, I attended University of Holy Cross for my master's and for my doctorate.
Nice. So out of curiosity, your parents didn't go to college. What provoked you to want to go to school?
Oh, honey, that was the rule. You either went to school or you went to work. So what happened was, I got an interesting story. So I'm in high school. And I had not decided what I was going to do because, again, no one knew how to apply for school or do FAFSA or anything. I happened to be working in the counselor's office, and my counselor at the time, her name was Miss Lee. Miss Lee looked at me and she said, "Dymphna, what you going to do after graduation?" I said, "Miss Lee, I don't know." She said, "Oh, no, that's not going to work." And so she told me to go into the drawer, pick out 5 applications. Child, I pick out 5 random applications. 5 random applications. Honey, I think I had one for like FAMU. I had one for McNeese. I think I had one for I don't even think I grabbed any that was in in New Orleans. Like I didn't grab Billy Baby, nothing. Just grab 5 out the drawer. So I go fill out the applications. My cousin gave me the money for all of my cousin Cleveland gave me the money for all of my college applications. So I mail the things, think nothing about it. Child, we get closer to graduation. I get this letter in the mail. I received a leadership scholarship from Northwestern State University, that covered things for the first year. And I'm like, Northwestern in Natchitoches? We have a Natchitoches? I ain't no Natchitoches. So I try to find out, how I even got nominated because I know I didn't apply. I didn't even apply to the university. Now, this is how crazy it was. Come to find out, Miss Lee took care of all of that. So she sent a group of students, application packets off and names, and I was one of the people that got a scholarship. That's how I ended up at Northwestern. I really didn't have a plan. So again, intervention, somebody taking an interest and seeing that you needed some help, and that's how I ended up there.
That is so important. Intervention. Ah, man, like a mentor. So was she then a mentor for you? Somebody you kept up with after you graduated, or when you were gone, it was kind of like, oh, thank you, lady.
No, it wasn't intentional. I tell you what happened. So I feel like for me in my life, I just have kind of asked God to guide me. Once I was introduced to spirituality and learning the value of praying, I just asked God to my life. I said, Lord, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what I'm here for, but I know you're God, and I trust that you know what's supposed to go on for me. And child, it's been a wild ride ever since. Believe me when I tell you. So even ending up at Carr was kind of a miracle. I went to McDonough 32 Elementary School. That at the time, that was a school that was considered in a pretty bad neighborhood. But I tell you, some of the most amazing things come out of the project, come out of some rough. And so I had some of the best teachers. And so when the students that scored high, they made us take tests for schools like McMain, which was a magnet school, Carr, which was a magnet school, and 35 at the time, which was another magnet school. All these schools were college preparatory schools. So they made us take these tests to see if we could get into those schools. And I took all 3 tests. I said, Lord, look, I don't know if I'm getting any of these schools, but, wherever I'm supposed to go, let me go. And I got in a car. So throughout that time, again, like my parents had never been a part of anything like where you would have to compete for things. Things were kind of mapped out. You went to school here, you did this, you did that. So my parents were always, encouraging. They never told me what not to do, but they were always a little nervous about the things I would try to do because I just tried things, And so I ended up going to the magnet school. Which was college preparatory, which helped me get into college. And to get back to Miss Lee, I emailed Miss Lee after I graduated. She is still a counselor at the college right now. And I emailed Miss Lee and I hadn't heard back from her. I just wanted to write her to let her know. But I think, I'm going to pass up there one of these days and just holler at her and let her know how much she impacted my life, because I don't think she realized how much she's impacted all of us. You know what I mean?
Life is not a journey that we take on our own as we're moving forward, especially as first generation college graduates, right?
Right. And I don't want people to feel like they always have to have a plan. Sometimes you just don't have a plan. You got to trust. You know what I mean? You got to trust the process. You got to trust that the energy that you're giving out, that it'll come back to you because you're doing the right thing, Because I didn't start out with a plan. I didn't have a plan. I still don't have a plan. you know what I'm saying? But I trust.
So tell me, just out of curiosity, has there been to you like challenges of navigating life as a first generation college graduate?
Child, every day.
So what are those things to you? Yeah, what are those things?
Well, the first thing is, for me, the first struggle is I don't have. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna preface this statement, but I need people to listen to me. It's situational. I have never had an African American mentor, right? I had an African American person who has helped me on my journey to get to this point, to encourage me in any way.
Goodness, sorry, wow.
Yeah, that bothers me because I've reached out to upwardly mobile African Americans who I thought, because I was younger at the time, would be very interested and eager in helping a young person because they too were first generation, so on and so forth. And I've been met with quite a bit of resistance. At first, I thought it was because maybe I'm rough around the edges. Because as you can see, I speak my truth, and I'm going to talk it, and I walk it how I talk it. So what you see is what you get. This is how I must speak. This is how I engage. You're going to hear the yeah, baby. You're going to hear the what's up. You're going to hear the what's happening. It ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So at first, the struggle was, I'm not polished enough. People don't want to align themselves with me because I'm not polished. But I will tell you, through my dissertation process, my chair was Dr. Ted Rimley. He is well known in our field and has written quite a bit of our ethics books. And he told me something that really recently just kind of changed my perspective on being polished. He said, Dymphna, If people don't like your attitude, that's their problem, you know? And hearing that from someone who is well-renowned and well-traveled and would be considered an expert in our particular field, it meant so much. He said something to me that made me be able to walk in my authenticity and not be afraid of it. Because I just struggle so much with when I don't speak how the places I'm going, where I speak. You know, like I don't speak the way that the people speak in the places that I've been entering. And I don't act to the way those people act. And I don't have nobody to teach me how to act that way. I always feel like, you know how they crack that joke and fried ham and no burger and, you know. I have that can't get right feeling. But, you know, the longer I live and the more I walk this journey, I've had to learn that I just have to be myself, and who is drawn to me will be drawn to me, and who is drawn away from me will be drawn away from me, and all of that is okay.
So then in your journey of being authentic, what does that end up looking like for you? Because a lot of times there's this, and you've been mentioning it, there's this duality of self. On the one hand, I'm supposed to be this professional, groomed person, but on the other hand, the hood's still there. And so
it ain't going
nowhere. But it's because I'll be kidding. You know, part of the reason why I talk about authenticity in the work that I've been doing with First Gens is that you've got to learn how to navigate and be comfortable being who you are. So if you were to give somebody advice on being authentic, what would your advice to them be?
Well, it wouldn't necessarily be advice. It would be modeling, because my goal is to become what I didn't have. So for the people that I mentor now, and for the people who work with me, and when I see that they're having struggles with that code switching thing, or just having struggles learning how to navigate that space and be themselves, or even learning how to calm down, you know, and redirect their passion, because sometimes people confuse our passion with aggression, and it becomes a problem sometimes in the workplace. I begin to model the behavior, right? So I try to show what I didn't see, you know, and have those conversations with them in regards to, now, you know, you probably should have said that like that, or, you know, this is a better way to express yourself. So when I'm in spaces with people and I'm comfortable enough in myself to adjust somebody else's crown and just kind of to you know, help another queen out, or king if they need the help, and just kind of talk to them. If they seem receptive, I'll continue the conversation. Now, don't get it twisted. Some people don't want you to tell them nothing because they think they know everything.
This is true.
So I respect it. I respectfully decline. Let's just see you, but I will extend my hand. So it wouldn't really be advice. It would be modeling. I would show you, and I'm open. I feel like for me, I want whoever in my space, or whoever see me via social media, via walking down the street, come talk to me. But now I answer, believe me, I got time. You know what I mean? I got time.
So how has the experience of not having mentors of color, Black mentors at that, shaped how you then have become a mentor yourself?
Well, it made me want to be one, because I'm not going to lie, I felt very hurt and isolated. This is an isolating journey when you don't have people who you can talk to. I can't call my mama and say, "Mom, you know, I'm in a business meeting. I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to negotiate the salary for this thing. What's the verdict? What am I supposed to say?" I can't call my mama today. My mama gonna say, "Well, baby, pray about it." And Lord knows I do need. That ain't what I need at the moment. I need this instruction. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know you well. You know, I know how to pray. You know, and now I'm praying God to have to ask the question. So you know what I mean? But like, you know, at the end of the day, that's basically what it becomes. You know, it basically becomes me becoming what I didn't see. You know, and that's just it.
Filling in the gap. Absolutely. What would you say is the best advice that anybody's ever given you?
The best advice I have ever received was to take a moment before you speak and to get your thoughts together before you open your mouth. I have a tendency sometimes to leap into things. I don't know if that's just a part of my personality or if it's a problem or if it's a plus. I haven't made up my mind about that yet. But that learning to take that pause was integral. Because now, especially as I'm getting older, that's what I do. Sometimes people come in my office and I know they're thinking, why is she looking at me like that? I'm looking because I'm trying to think of the right way to explain this to you. So I'm assessing the situation. I'm assessing your demeanor. I'm assessing what you said. Because whatever comes out of my mouth is going to have an effect on you. And I want it to be right. So taking that pause, that's the best advice I can give somebody. I don't care what's going on. Just take a second, gather yourself, assess the situation, and then
take a pause. Because I think about it all the time and say, you hot-headed. I'm not hot-headed. I'm just saying what I feel. My mama told me to speak what was on my mind.
Yeah. And I have no issue with speaking what's on my mind, but I want every word that I speak to be intentional. And whatever point I'm going to get across, I want to make sure I'm saying it the way I meant it. So I'm going to take a second because I'm going to mean what I say. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I just need to make sure we all clear, me included.
Absolutely. So tell me something. What was life like for you after you graduated from college? Like right after you came out of undergrad with that fresh, hot printed degree in your hand. Like, yeah, the world is yours. And then the next day, the next week, what happened next?
Yeah, the next week I was at my mama's house. And I was looking at the time speaking looking for a job. Because, see, my undergraduate degree is in hospitality and tourism management.
Nice.
Now, my teacher was to go to school for psychology, but I got into it with one of my professors. The lady was going to fail me, so I switched my major. That's life, right? Keep it moving. So I ended up getting a degree in hospitality and tourism management. At this particular point, I fell in love with the major, so I'm like, I'm going to work in a hotel. Of course, going back to New York, hospitality system, I should surely find a job at a hotel. Girl, go at the Fairmont Hotel. At the time, it was the Fairmont. Now it's the Roosevelt. They changed the name. I walk in, I meet this dark-haired Caucasian man. This man interviews me. I don't know if I've done well. I leave the interview. I get a phone call. He said, well, you come in and start your job as an overnight front desk clerk. When I tell you that was the best job I ever had, I haven't had a job that I thought was as awesome because it propelled me to what I'm doing now. This is. So I was sitting at the counter, and it just so happens that there was a concert in town, and Carl Thomas, you know, Mr. Summer Rain, he puts his head on the counter. He looks a little distressed. And you know, I'm not scared of people, so I talk to anybody. I said, well, sir, you look a little upset. We begin to chat. Expresses himself. He says a few things. And at the end of our conversation, he said, man, you probably will make a good therapist a little while. So I began to research. Now, mind you, no one ever told me that you could get a master's degree in anything. So I started asking questions because I'm like, well, I don't know if a degree in hospitality and tourism would transfer into a counseling degree, you know, or anything. So I call around, like, just talking to other people that graduated, and one girl tells me, listen, you might get a master's degree in anything. Like, you don't have to have that degree, just apply. So lo and behold, I applied for University of Holy Cross, and I get accepted. As soon as I get accepted, Katrina hit. So girl, we go. I ended up taking my first year at Lamar University, and I ended up taking a job. I ended up taking a job at a bank up there and going to school. And then as soon as I was able to come back home, I was readmitted in the Holy Cross, and that's where I finished. So I was for about a year, and then I came back home after that. And so that's another thing, like just not having to have people to ask. I feel like exposure and knowledge is everything. And so I work with young people now. I'm a school counselor right now, and so that's one of my main focus. I try to expose the kids as much as I can. If it wasn't for the exposure and people having conversations, I wouldn't have known what to do, you know. And nobody just walks around telling you in general conversation you could get a master's degree in anything. Now that might be a general conversation in some people's household, but that was not one in mine. you know?
Yes, absolutely. That is really interesting because the conversation has to be had. I had the same experience when I'd gone to school, got my bachelor's degree, was getting it. I was like, oh, yeah, I done it now. And then I had professors like, oh, no, there's more. I'm like, more? What you mean there's more? But, you know, it's always a saving grace somehow, right? That leads us on the path that we're supposed to go. And you've been saying it. So I love that. You mentioned Katrina. And when you said something about Katrina, I thought to myself, wow, yeah, you did survive that. That was almost 13 years ago. And that was a really big deal. Then it made me think about adversity. So was there a time that you like to share with us when you faced adversity and how you overcome it?
Well, recently, my grandmother passed. It was a big deal for me because I didn't realize how much I relied on her wisdom and comfort. And so during that time, I think, I fell in depression and I didn't recognize it. And it kind of took me being trusting of the people that surrounded me. So I am ever so grateful that I have people around me who care about me in a way that's non-judgmental. And so many people don't have that. So during that particular time, I just wasn't myself. So things weren't necessarily going well. I wasn't applying myself in a way that I needed to. And just in my everyday life, you can find purpose. And what happened was it brought me back to my youth. The experience of losing my grandmother in a depression brought me back to where I would have to sit on the floor and just kind of write the little one word that was positive to me or that was on my mind. And something most of the time it would be the word love. And then while I would sit on the floor and I would write love, just love, just love. And I would write with that love. And as I made each L and I made each O and I made each V and I made each E, I would think about the expressions of love. And I swear, one day I was sitting on the floor doing my normal doodling, just trying to center myself. And I heard Rosie say, "Why are you wasting yourself, girl?" And I looked up, because it was almost like she was standing there. She was like, it was just, I heard it so clear. She was like, "Why are you wasting yourself, girl? Why are you wasting yourself?" And I began to have this conversation with my grandmother. And towards the end of the conversation, I felt so empowered, and I realized as I looked down at the love that I was writing, I was making a heart. And so that's what it is. I felt like in those moments, I realized that it's my job to be the heart of a situation. And when you become the heart of a situation, you bring clarity, you bring peace, you bring suggestions. You become a problem solver when you become the heart of a situation. When you think with your heart, I have the addition of my brain power. I have the addition of my, the knowledge that I've gained through education. But it's the heart of me that keeps all of this moving. And so I say that was adversity to overcome because I had never been not myself. You know what I'm saying? The strength of being resilient to me is the essence of me wanting to fight. And just that experience, I didn't want to fight, And so overcoming the depression and, just having the support of realizing the love, realizing who I was in the middle of that. And that's the adversity. Sometimes you have to go through the negative things to learn about yourself, but to also get clarity on your purpose. And sometimes it's only through adversity you get that clarity, And if I wouldn't have had that experience, I don't even think I'd be as focused as I am on the projects and the things that I'm working on now,
So you spoke of projects that you're working on. I'm curious to know what's next for you.
Well, right now I am a part of a collaborative. The name of the collaborative is the Limitless Collaborative. And I am a part of this collaborative with two fabulous life coaches. One name is Dymphna Davis. She focuses on purpose. She's a lady named Purpose that focuses on purpose. And the other lady's name is Dee Cedric, and she focuses on organizational skills. And my piece in the organization is Life Strategist. So basically what we do is we've put together a series of presentations that we'll be unveiling throughout the course of the year. The first one we did was Chapter 2018, where we help people try to get their plans and their organization together for what they wanted to attack in the beginning of 2018. We had a successful launch of that. And the next couple of speaker series will kind of focus on where you like checking in from that original series. So we'll be checking in with the people that came to attend that, and then we'll be expanding on that. I spoke primarily about fear, and that fear is a lens that clouds our success. And sometimes we don't understand the strength in fear. That fear could actually be something that propels us into success. So we allow fear being negative to cloud our judgment instead of using fear and fight or flight to propel us to success, right?
Absolutely.
So I discussed about that, and Nia spoke on how to structurally find your purpose through journaling and mapping things out. And Dee spoke about how to get your time management together, because you can't do none of it if you're wasting your time. So we had that, and I have a couple of writing projects I'm working on. Just a couple of, the main focus I have is I'm working on a devotional right now, and just some other research things that I'm working on that I'll keep, pushing out throughout the course of the year. So that's what I have so far.
Nice. You're on the move, definitely on the move.
Yep.
You're so very welcome. As we're wrapping up, I have one more question, and that question is, considering all that you shared today, because you have definitely dropped some jewels, sister. What is the one piece of advice or just the one message that you want listeners to carry with them?
Trust the process. I know it's cliche. Lord knows I know that's cliche. But I promise you, every good part of your journey, every bad part of your journey is definitely a necessary part of your journey, And you gotta trust that what's in your gut is leading you to what you're ultimately supposed to be doing. And if I had anything else to tell people, it would be really watch who's pouring in and who's taking from you. You need to watch your circle and keep it small, So that would be the pieces of advice I would give people.
I like that. That's powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Where can we find you in the internet space? Because I'm sure there'll be some people who want to connect. So how can we connect with you?
Okay, so if you're on Facebook, you can reach out to me. My page is Dr. Dymphna Davis. So that is Dymphna Davis, Davis, or you can reach out to me on DEE Davis, DAVISPHD.
Absolutely. We're definitely going to make sure that we link that information in the show notes. So, Dr. Dymphna Davis, you have been a pleasure to connect with today, to chat with. Thank you for your insights and for sharing with us so that we can continue to push forward on our journeys.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you are so welcome. Well, we'll talk to you soon. Again, I want to thank you for tuning in. Before you go, just a few things to note. First and foremost, let's get connected on Instagram and or LinkedIn. You can find me at EVEHUDSONPHD on both social networks. Don't forget to head on over to check out my site at www.evehudsonphd.com. And if you should decide to purchase a book or apparel just for listening to this podcast, you get 10% off of your order. Just use the code podcast when you check out. Last but certainly not the least, in all that you do, remember to be resilient, authentic, and intentional. I'm out.